third area I wanted to talk about was interactivity. And again, this is about how we see things, touch things, feel things, and how that works online. Not just online, but kind of with any digital tech. Actually, I should have said this at the very beginning, but when I say digital, I don't mean websites. I mean anything that's connected to the internet, and that could include a phone, that could include, we're gonna see some examples of like a refrigerator, can include pretty much anything that's connected to a network, so just to be really clear on that. So we're living in a world where the keyboard and mouse is actually becoming obsolete. And if you think about moving from the BlackBerry to the iPhone, moving from the remote control to Project NATAL, which is, I should explain, Project NATAL is a new build of the Xbox 360, which is going to allow people to navigate, first of all, to play games using their hands and feet, and you can kind of sword fight and everything, kind of like the Wii, but with no controller. But also what I think is more interesting is that even just the interface will be navigable by hand motions. So if instead of, if you open up Netflix, instead of using a remote to browse through, you're just going like this. Yeah, and that's coming out. That's coming out soon. I believe it's this year. It's like Q2 or Q3 this year. It's really soon. So basically, as these interfaces to devices evolve, advertising has to keep up, and that's another really good way to grab some attention, is to do something cool with the interface. So the first trend that I'll point out here is location-based services, and this is all about mobile devices. The really good example is if you're walking by a Starbucks and you get a coupon notification that lattes are on sale, right? So it's basically giving you selective advertising based on your location to your mobile phone. One example is Foursquare, which someone here is familiar with because there's a location and someone's the mayor. I checked in. Basically, Foursquare lets you check into bars and restaurants, and that tells your friends where you are so they can meet up. In New York, it's awesome because oftentimes your friends will be at a bar down the street. And the person who goes to that particular venue the most is the mayor. And what a lot of places have begun doing, I don't know how much it's taken off here. In New York, it's become pretty popular, but is they'll give you an offer for like a free beer if you're the mayor. So when you check into Foursquare, it says, oh, since you're the mayor, you can get a free drink on the house, show this to the bartender. Or it might say, oh, since you're here, there's a bar around the corner and we're having 50% off. So it's a really good way to market to people in a way that's contextually relevant. Obviously, I think the watch out that's kind of clear from this is you don't want to be spammy. It would be horrible to live in like the Minority Report world where you're constantly being bombarded with advertisements. But there is an opportunity if people opt in to do something interesting here, I think. Last trend is the Internet of Things. This is basically the idea that you can connect any object to the network and make it smarter and make it better. There's a lot of novelty implementations around this. A friend of mine was in Wired, which is cool. He created a device that basically, when it hooks up to the oven in the bakery, and when the oven goes off and a new batch of buns is available, it tweets, so you can always know when the hot pressed buns are available, which is actually cool. They've gotten a lot of press for it, and it's been successful for the bakery. And actually, this was awesome. Last night at the Grammys, I don't know if anybody saw this, Imogen Heap had a Twitter dress. She called it her Twit dress, where basically she hooked up her collar to Twitter, and any tweet that had the hashtag TwitDress showed up in like rotating letters around her collar. So I mean, people, it's a little, hackneyed right now, but I think that there's an opportunity as the tech gets smarter to do some really interesting things here. The takeaway here is that, physical computing has the opportunity to drive engagement. Another area here is RFID, which I'm not going to talk about too much, but we're going to move to a place where I think mobile-enabled payments. If you go to Japan, you can kind of swipe your phone on things and pay. So we're kind of moving to this space where everything's going to be connected online, and it's going to be pretty interesting. There's a lot of other stuff going on in sociability, content, and interactivity. I try to just pull out what I thought were the most interesting things. But I think that we're going to continue to see a lot of advancement here.